According to the CBPP, if you make at or under $51,000 per year, you are at the end of the day going to be worse off because of the big beautiful bill. Not to mention the fact that that same bill is economic policy of Trump 2.0 this time around, kicked 10 million people off of health insurance, 3 million people off of food stamps, and it was single-handedly the most expensive piece of legislation that has ever been passed in this country, clocking in at $4.5 trillion.
The question is, like, how do you still support Trump? Obviously, everybody's support is wavering.
The big beautiful bill was terrible, right? Do you agree?
Right. Yeah, completely right. I completely agree with
Okay,
that.
so then you wouldn't still support Donald Trump as president if you care about economic policy, and he passed a terrible piece of economic policy as his tax cuts for Donald Trump 2.0.
But he did it.
Hey, are you racist?
But no, why?
What's this?
I have no idea what that is.
It's one of your reposts. So it's one of the other people that are on your account that are racist?
Right.
Yes. Hello, do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And why is that? Quite frankly.
Well, look, obviously there's a lot of things that Trump has done that have not been so good. He's spoken a lot of bullshit, and he's made a lot of people mad. And I've seen, one of the things that actually made me support him is the judicial appointments. But to actually play the devil's advocate, the people he appointed actually ruled against him, which he's not happy about. That was kind of embarrassing. The other thing that I actually supported him on was his 2016 accomplishments and all the things that he ran on, the platform he ran on. One of the first things was the the trade, right? The Trans-Pacific Partnership, he withdrew it. And then he redid the NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement, and replaced it with, what was it?
USMCA.
Yeah, USMCA. Mm-hmm.
Do you support the USMCA?
Yeah. I mean, it generated like $80 billion in economic activity, created new jobs.
Yeah. So you support having lower barrier to trades with their allies?
I mean, it wasn't lower barrier, right? It was
lower barriers. It reduced barriers to trades like tariffs and other related taxes. It just made trade easier between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. And it's funny, right? Because if you know anything about Donald Trump 2.0, right, he's been all about barriers to trade. He's been all about imposing tariffs on allies. In fact, he has said that the USMCA is shit. And right now, what was one of the first things that he did in his second term? Up the tariffs on Canada, up the tariffs on Mexico, and gave a big middle finger to the terms negotiated under the USMCA. So you was parading the USMCA around as one of Trump's accomplishments, something that was good. But how can you still possibly support him today, given the fact that he's already infringed on that agreement and re-implemented higher barriers to trades with high tariffs on both Canada and Mexico?
Right. On that point, I'll say I'll 100% agree with you. He did go back on his 2016 platform, I guess, which he ran.
Because the question on top of my head is, how the hell do you still support Trump as president?
Still support Trump?
And then the answer to that question was something that he's already walked back on. And
he's walked back on, yeah. He did, yeah, that's very true. I mean, you know what, to pivot from the trade, you obviously right there, he did go ahead and tariff the shit out of all these countries. I mean, obviously, he did that on the basis that we're going to make U.S. economy, U.S. manufacturers, U.S. jobs a lot more, I guess.
But I thought they said reducing those barriers to trade through the USMCA generated $80 billion in economic activity.
That number, I think it's around 80 billion, 70 to 80 billion.
It did. You're right. So you're saying reducing tariffs generates money for our economy. So what is it when we increase tariffs?
Well, I'm saying when you increase tariffs, obviously right, and a lot of capitalist and a lot of right-wing and conservative ideology is we tariff the shit out of these countries. That in turn will make U.S. manufacturers be a lot more useful and I guess used by the company.
So explain to me how this could be the case. Explain to me how reducing barrier to trades generates economic activity in our country, but then increasing barrier to trades also generates more economic activity in our country. I don't think that those two things could be true at the same time. Okay,
I
it
mean,
can
look,
simultaneously be true that lowering our tariffs on Canada is beneficial to the American economy, while it is also true that apparently increasing our tariffs on Canada is beneficial to the American economy. That
I mean,
serves a contradiction. You can't
let's take it.
say these
Uh-huh.
two things at the same time. You can't say I love the USMCA and I love violating the USMCA and imposing tariffs on Canada simultaneously. Those two things are contradictory.
Right. So let's put it this way. Let's say a distributor in America buys aluminum from China.
I'm so sorry. Could you just like respond to what I just said? Could you address my argument that you can't say those two things simultaneously? They're
Yeah,
contradictory.
but here's one thing that I can pretty much like put as an example, right?
Well,
When you
I don't want an example quite yet. Can you just affirm or deny that this is contradictory?
yeah, it is. It's very contradictory, right?
Okay, so then you admit that you have a contradictory argument.
Yeah, no, but I'm not arguing that. I even agreed with you that he went back on his 2016 USMCA deal, and he's tariffing the shit out of people, right? I completely agree with
Are
you
you
on that.
arguing that the tariffs are beneficial?
The tariffs are not beneficial. I believe they're not. That's why I first said the USMCA, what he did with NAFTA, changing it to USMCA was a great thing. Now he went back on it and he kind of screwed it up. But let me give you an example on why
Well,
a tariff might be beneficial.
well, since we could agree they're not beneficial, we don't even need to have that conversation since we don't disagree. So now that we've agreed that Donald Trump's tariffs are harmful, how the hell could you still support him as president today?
I mean, look, that's not like the only thing that I support him on. Like
Well,
I said,
you don't support him at all on that because you think that it's wrong and harmful.
Well, I mean, just to put it out there, the example was like distributor in America buys aluminum from China. China gets tariffed. Obviously, the distributor is the one who pays that tariff. It's not the country of China that pays it, right? So if the distributor looks towards American domestic manufacturers, that will, in fact, actually, they'll make, American manufacturers a lot more useful, right?
Now
A
you're
lot
debating
more
against
used.
yourself.
No, I'm not. I was just
Yes, you
giving
are,
that
because you just
example.
got done saying that his tariffs are harmful, and now you're saying that they're useful. So
I'm
which one
not
is
saying they're useful. I'm not saying. I'm saying like
what?
to play the devil's advocate.
That's literally the word that you just used.
Literally, the example that I'm giving is like devil's advocate of why they would think that there would be.
Okay,
right?
okay, but you admit that you don't agree, and that you.
I don't agree. Yeah, I don't agree.
And
that
the question is, how do you support Trump?
how do I? Okay. Honestly, I'll tell you this. The 2016, I'm gonna go back on it a lot. The 2017, actually,
Well,
presidency.
remember the question is, why do you support Trump as president
Mhm.
today?
I'll tell you this one right now. So the main reason why I actually supported Trump, the reason why I voted for him again in 2020, was obviously what he was running on, and it was like the proof of what the 2017 presidency came from, right? So it was the deregulations and then the tax relief. So when he signed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, more than 6 million Americans like got wage increases, bonuses, benefits thanks to these tax cuts. And I think like typical average family, like American family that made a household a total of like 80 to 90,000, got more than $2,000 in tax cuts, and they got what was it? Double the standard deduction. That made the first 24,000 earned by a married couple, I think, completely tax free, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, just let me know when you're done, and I'll respond.
I'm done.
Okay. So you support him because you think that the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act was beneficial. I'd give the
Right.
Tax Cuts and Jobs Act.
We have got to the point where literally any
Sorry, I'd give the Tax Cuts and the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act a big ol' C minus. The reason why I would give that to the TCGA is because although it helped the average American some, 80% of the cuts in the bill went to members of the top 1%, and it costs like close to $2 trillion. But anyways, right, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act is not the tax policy that he passed this time around, okay?
Right.
Because in addition to the TCGA, under the big beautiful bill, including and in consideration of all provisions, according to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, right, the purchasing power of 156 million American citizens is going down. According to the CBPP, if you make at or under $51,000 per year, you are at the end of the day going to be worse off because of the big beautiful bill. Not to mention the fact that that same bill is economic policy of Trump 2.0 this time around, kicked 10 million people off of health insurance, 3 million people off of food stamps, and it was single-handedly the most expensive piece of legislation that has ever been passed in this country, clocking in at $4.5 trillion.
I mean, like the question is like, how do you still support Trump? To this current day right now, obviously everybody's support is wavering. The reason I brought the TCGA up was actually like you gave it a C minus, but it did actually, increase the standard deduction, right? It
Right,
did lower the tax rates. It expanded the child tax credit.
right. But keep in mind, Donald Trump has passed new economic policy since then. He passed the Big
Right.
Beautiful Bill, and the Big Beautiful Bill was terrible, right? Do you agree?
Right. Yeah, completely right. I completely agree with
Okay,
that.
so then
Big
you
beautiful
wouldn't
bill.
still support Donald Trump as president if you care about economic policy, and he passed a terrible piece of economic policy as his tax cuts for Donald Trump 2.0.
I mean, would you agree that these policies actually benefit small business in America?
No, actually, I completely disagree with that. And the reason why I'd say that is because, well, Donald Trump replaced the progressive corporate tax rate with a flat corporate tax rate. So on small businesses, it in fact made their corporate tax rate go up. Not to mention, I think that his tariffs are also incredibly harmful to small businesses because small businesses, they don't have the ability to spend the billions or millions of dollars on the infrastructure to make the raw materials required to produce their goods in America. So they're reliant on raw materials, for the most part, produced outside of America. And now because of those tariffs, those raw materials are going to be significantly more expensive for them, meaning that they are going to have to sell their goods for a higher price or go out of business. And, if they don't go out of business and they sell their goods at a higher price, well, then they're going to have less individuals buying their goods, right? And their company is going to operate inefficiently since they're selling their products for a price beyond that of equilibrium, right? But
Right.
so just to clarify where we're at today, you told us that you support Trump because of his economic policy, but his big beautiful bill, the big economic policy, the Trump economic policy, right? You agree was terrible, and now I've been able to give you an explanation how not just that economic policy and his tax reform, but also his other policies such as his tariffs are incredibly harmful to small businesses. So how the hell can you still support Donald Trump, given that you've actually agreed to these things?
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of the things you're saying obviously are a lot well versed on than I am, well, better versed than I am. The one thing that I was actually going to bring up with TCGA and the Big Beautiful Bill was Section 179, right? Expensing for small business, I think permanent, while, and it was a temporary expensing for some qualified businesses. And it was actually a good addition that would, need to be made permanent for long-term economic growth. It brought stability to individual income tax, and it actually secured the extension of the rates and brackets of the 2017 individual tax cuts for household and businesses, right? The law also
I already responded to this. I feel like you're not listening to me and you're reading off of a screen.
No, I am. I'm
If you were listening to me, then you would have heard me say that when we factor in for the totality of the Big Beautiful Bill, according to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, right, it's the case that the after-tax income, or more so the purchasing power of the average American, is going to go down. Right? If you make at or under $51,000 per year, your purchasing power is going to go down. Meanwhile, the purchasing power of everybody making over that dollar amount goes up, and it goes up disproportionately more compared to your income, the more money that you make. It is the largest redistribution of wealth from the poor to the rich in modern American history.
I mean, and then when I was talking about helping small businesses, and you said it didn't.
Can you respond to that very specific point that I just made?
Right, yeah, you're completely right. It is redistributing the wealth from the rich to the poor, and also
No, from the poor to the
purchase-
rich.
from the poor to the rich, and then
So do you support a redistribution of wealth from the poor to the rich?
No, obviously not. It
Okay,
should
so
be the opposite.
then you don't support the Big Beautiful Bill, right?
The Big Beautiful Bill has a lot of components that I don't
Just
support.
all things considered, right? Do you think it's more harmful than beneficial, or do you think it's more beneficial than harmful?
I mean, I think it's more harmful than beneficial, honestly.
Okay,
at
so
this
then you'd
point.
argue here that all things considered, if the Big Beautiful Bill wasn't passed, things would be better off. Therefore, all things considered, if Donald Trump wasn't elected in November, America would be better off.
I mean, look, this is the point that I hate about the Big Beautiful Bill. Obviously, in addition to what you said, it spends a lot, way too much money on this.
Wait, I don't know how we got onto expenditure. I want you to directly respond to the last point I made because I feel
that
like the last point
he's worse for America.
just ended the debate, right? I feel like that was the debate ender. You told me that the Big Beautiful Bill, all things considered, is bad, implying that if it wasn't passed, all things considered, America would be better off. Therefore, if Donald Trump was not elected, right, America would be better today.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say America would be better today, but if the big beautiful bill was altered, then I mean, you're right on that. The big beautiful bill did screw a lot of things up that he was working towards from the 2017 presidency.
You have to say America would be better today, though, because when you agreed the big beautiful bill is all things considered harmful, all that you're saying there is that if it was never passed, things would be better off, right? Because if you're not arguing, right, that if it wasn't passed, things would be better off, then what do you even mean when you say all things considered it's harmful?
All things considered it's harmful. It means like majority of the things that are in the big beautiful bill are not good, but there are a few things.
Right. Therefore, if the big beautiful bill was never passed, things would be better off today, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. All right.
But
Okay.
you say overall,
So
like,
perfect.
Trump is
So
bad for
here's what we know. Here's what we know so far about you. So you think that if Donald Trump's biggest bill ever never passed, things would be better off today. You think if Donald Trump's tariffs were never passed, things would be better off today. So how the hell can you still support Trump as president today, considering the fact that the main things he has done so far in the last 10 months are things that you vehemently disagree with?
I'll admit it. Like it's hard. It is hard to support him right now as it stands. The only thing that keeps my support for him is the fact that the promise from the 2017 presidency and the economic growth from that and the tax cuts and everything that he did well from there was actually a beacon of hope for this presidency. It is becoming increasingly hard to.
So when you're saying it's becoming increasingly hard to support him, do you still support him?
Yeah, I mean, I do. Yeah.
Okay, so what has he done so far in his second term that you like? Because so far, every single thing that we've discussed about his second term, right, are all things that you don't like.
You know what? The main thing that's kept me on Trump's side is the foreign, the foreign and domestic. The foreign part has actually made me a lot more, I guess.
What foreign policy? Could you be a little bit more specific?
Let me just say this. Look, he is not bad. I'm not gonna say he's good, but he's not bad for the foreign. What I mean is like the wars and everything going on in the world.
Tell me one foreign policy that he's passed that you agree with. Tell me one thing that he's done right on the global stage.
One thing that he's done, let's just say he's put an end to 30-year conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan, right? He's done that one. He put an end to, I mean, he didn't put an end to, obviously. I'm going to say this. It was broke, the ceasefire. He at least attempted to, and he got semi-successfully in the beginning. Obviously, it was broken after by both parties, Israel and Palestine. And to actually tell you, I am more in support of Palestine than I am of Israel. But he did attempt.
Hey, are you racist?
But, no, why?
What's this?
What is it? I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is.
It's one of your reposts.
Yeah, this account, it's not just mine. I have like 4 people using this account.
So it's one of the other people that are on your account that are racist?
Right. I don't know. I don't even go on this account really.
I mean, can we like agree that like it's like
I don't even know what that is.
racist? Well, I mean, I could describe it, right? Because apparently you can't see it with your.
What is that?
So it's an AI video, right? Making racist caricatures out of black individuals, right? And then it's like having them in the AI video, right? Like steal things from like stores, and then it's calling them looters.
Yeah,
it's having them like hide behind dumpsters, right? It's having like these AI racist caricatures of like black individuals hide behind dumpsters with the things that they stole from Target, and then calling them looters.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's unbelievably racist.
So would you say like one of the other people that apparently have access to this account is like
that's awful?
Racist?
Yeah, completely racist. That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
Okay, so why do like unbelievably racist people have access to your TikTok?
Dude, I don't even know who would repost that. I have like 4 people on this TikTok account that I share it with, and I don't know who use that. If you look at my posts, there's nothing even remotely racist on my stuff.
So I mean, like they seem like pretty like outspokenly racist. You know what I mean?
That's pretty damn bad.
Right. So like which one of your friends is like outspokenly like unbelievably racist?
I mean, to be quite honest with you, most of them are pretty shitty. I mean, not like racist, I wouldn't say. Like they're just like edgy, I guess, and they're all older too, which is pretty fucking humiliating. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm inherently racist or any of my friends are inherently racist.
So why do you like 4 of your friends have access to your account?
I mean, it's just a TikTok account we all made together, and then I pretty much.
I guess the question is like, why?
I don't know. It's because I mean, we didn't really want to use TikTok, and then one of them got it, and then he shared the account with us, and then I pretty much started like I put my profile photo on there, and then it just went from there.
Okay, so like you just got access to an account, and then
Yeah, we just shared it, and like we would watch videos on TikTok. Yeah.
yeah. When do you think like you took the account over?
I never took it over. I just
No. So
Yeah.
I mean, so how long? But you just said like you made it your account. You put your profile picture on it. You've been using it. How long have you been doing that for?
Not too long, maybe like a few days.
Just a few days?
Probably, yeah, since I uploaded my profile picture, yeah.
Oh,
It's not like it's mine.
because this repost is from last week.
Yeah, that I'm telling you, dude, I don't even repost anything. Like seriously, I'm not racist. That's a piece of shit thing to do. Like I'm not even here. I'm not even debating you that Trump is a
Oh, you said you took it. You said that you took the account over a few days ago. Well, this repost is from like yesterday.
No, I don't know what these videos are. I'm not even.
Wait, look at your repost. Let's listen.
Yeah, I'm serious. I'm not even reposting.
Can we listen to it?
Yeah, sure.
I get older. Shoot, I want to have like 20 baby daddies. They all gonna pay me child support. I get my EBT.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Get a job.
That's terrible.
When I get older.
Jesus Christ.
So this one was like reposted like 2 days ago.
Dude, I don't even repost videos. Dean, I'm telling you, I don't even repost them. If I was a racist, why would I?
Shit! No, this video, this was actually reposted like today, right? Because now this Dylan Page video about Sudan, this was reposted before this video, right? That is just totally being racist towards black women. And Dylan Page posted this video 2 days ago. Therefore, it'd be like reliable to assume that like this video is like reposted today.
Bro, not my repost. I'm telling you, there's no reason for me to defend that. There's no reason for me.
But I thought that you said like you took the account over, right? Like
I didn't take it over. We're still sharing it. I didn't tell you that I took it over.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, if I was racist, I would.
I don't believe him. We're gonna move on to the next guest. I think that I was asking him all those questions just to try to make it obvious how like absolutely insane his view is. And apparently, according to some people in the chat, it was like literally reposted like an hour ago. The repost is from 58 minutes ago. Yeah, an hour ago. Right before he joined the stream. Why is he just lying, dude?